Okay, so welcome for our kind of more gentle yoga today. We're going to grab a strap, a scarf, or anything that might help you with taking your hand to foot easily, and then taking a blanket or something that you can roll up. We're going to take this kind of cylinder shape here. So I'll unfold this for just a half a second here. So it would be like a kind of normal blanket fold that we would take, and then I'm just going to roll that up from long end to long end and make a little kind of cylinder. If you prefer to do something a little deeper to open your chest, you could take a bolster, but I would just start with something that's a little lower like this. It's going to be just pretty comfortable for most people. All right, so I want you to just set your strap off to the side, and you could have some blocks or maybe even something like couch pillows or something nearby that you could use under your legs for now. All right, so as we come over, I want you to line this up so that it's going to be in line with your spine. And depending on how long your torso is, you may have to make adjustments, but your head will relax at the top of this little bolster roll, and this is going to run down your spine. So if you have your blocks, I'm going to take those close by and start to lie back so that the head is still supported here. And if maybe you're quite a bit taller or have a longer torso and you need to take something at the top of this to still have your head supported, you could do that as well. I have plenty of room on mine. And if it's just a little too intense for some reason, you could back off, make that smaller, or just don't use it at all. It's okay. All right, so we're just trying to open up the chest a little today. So as you've got your blocks here, we can start to make a couple of decisions with the blocks, pillows, or whatever it is next to you. So if you'd like to take your feet together, you could slide something underneath the outer thigh space and give a little support. So in a supported kind of more of a chest opening variation of a Baddha Konasana or bound angle. And take a moment here and just start to take a few deep breaths in and out. So deep breath in through the nose. Find a softness across the face and the chest, the belly rising, and exhale. Just let yourself become really heavy into any surfaces that are supporting you. I'm going to take a little extra moment here just to kind of draw the tail under a bit. So I'm not tucking the tail. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not overarching in the low back. Softening into the back of the throat. So just finding more of a hollow space. And you really feel the back of your jaw, the back of the throat, around the base of your neck, releasing and relaxing. Notice if you're holding any tension across the chest and into the shoulders, and just let that become open, softening, the shoulders pulling back. So currently, we're in more of a restorative position, meaning we are supported and we can open very gradually without stress or strain into the joints or through the tissue. So if you want to take it a little step further, you could also release anything you have supporting your legs if that feels good or feels like it's a nice kind of combination of both stretch and release to your hips. Every day is a little different, and we just wake up each day and honor where we are that day. So if the opening of the inner thighs and through the hip joint doesn't feel right for you, just take a more supported approach. Let's take about 3 more deep breaths here, and as you start to inhale with each one of these breaths, I want you to take a moment and find one thing to be grateful for today. So just in your mind, kind of take that appreciation or moment of gratitude with your breath. So you can stay right here, or go ahead and start to straighten the legs out, heels toward the corners of the mat, and start to sweep your arms up and over the head. And we'll bring the arms back down by the sides. Take a breath in. Exhale. And sweep. So just let your breath move freely. Don't worry about where you're breathing on the inhale and on the exhale unless it makes sense to you to take a more of a patterned approach with your breath here. I usually will breathe in as I'm sweeping up and out. When the arms are coming down, take one more. So while we're here, take arms out to the sides, palms facing up. If you feel better with your feet on the floor, feel free to bend the knees, placing feet on the floor. And we'll take those arms that are out to the sides, palms facing up, and sweep the arms across. See if you can cross your elbows somewhere on your chest and let the arms just hang right here, like a big hug. Separating your shoulder blades, pulling them apart, and then open back up and kind of squeeze that little bolster roll with the shoulder blades, moving closer together. And then take the opposite arm on top. We'll open up again, inhale. On the next one, as you take this big sweep and big hug, I want you to pause. And if you can wrap your hands kind of around the outsides of your shoulders somewhere, we're going to hold on. And then start to just gently draw your chin toward chest. And maybe lift the head just slightly. Slight little roll up, belly engaged. And then bring it back down. If you feel like you need your feet on the floor to do that, take that option. Or if you don't feel comfortable in your neck, just stay where you are. So we're going to open up again. Inhale. Then exhale, switch which arm was on top. Hold here. Start to draw chin toward chest slightly. And then start to roll up a bit. Exhale, bring it down. And then open up again. All right, take your feet on the floor. So bending the knees. And we'll roll over to one side. So just roll over to the side that makes the most sense to you. And as you roll off of that blanket or roll, go ahead and place the hand in front that's in front of you or on top in front. And let yourself rise up just a bit. We're going to take that whole blanket situation and just move it off to the side or somewhere it's not in your way. And then come back down. We'll roll back again. So now finding the spine really imprinting on the floor. And the knees are bent. Feet about hip distance. They could be a little wider. We're going to take a little windshield wiper twist. So slowly let the knees just drop to one side. Let gravity draw them. Move anything that's in your way. Or if you feel like you want support, you don't want to go quite so deep. I'm going to give you an example. You could either have blankets there or you could have your blocks here and just let your legs fall until they hit the block. It's just depending on what feels right for you. You could take the feet wider. So just play with that motion, seeing how things are feeling today in your body. I'm going to take them even wider, and my feet are going to be on the outsides of my mat so that I can drop one knee in toward the midline each time, a little deeper, because I feel like I need more stretch right here down the outsides of my waist and down through this outer pelvic space and into that psoas and the space that's right down here, that IT band. So if that feels like something that would be nice for you, go ahead and take that option as well. We'll take about 2 more here to each side. Just getting nice gentle twist. And gentle stretching. So when you come back into that center space, come back to stillness, go ahead and walk the feet back onto the mat and just turn your head side to side a couple of times. So when you're turning your head, just imagine you're trying to take your ear to the floor and looking over the shoulder. So you could even kind of pick your head up just a little bit to do that when you turn. And as we come back into center, go ahead and take a strap or anything you have to help give you a little extra length to reach your foot. We'll take the right knee, pull it in and up. I want you to first just let whatever you have just rest across your mid space here, right across the ribs or the belly. And draw the knee in. Give it a little hug. Go ahead and take it side to side a couple of times. So in and out. So out to the right, back into center. And we got that space that's right in the middle. So just draw it back in towards your chest. Circle the ankle. And then from here, going ahead, take your strap or item that you have, place it across the ball of your foot. So meaning try not to place it just right on the arch space, but right below your toes. And make sure you've got plenty of room there to either end of whatever you're holding. So more in the middle of whatever that strap is that you're using. And as you start to kick your heel up to the sky, straightening your leg as much as possible. And that's going to be different for everyone. So we're going to do that a couple of times. So just hold on to your strap, kind of draw your hands back towards you so you don't have to reach too far forward. And then just kick the foot up, straightening the knee, and bring it back down. Okay, so inhale, exhale, press, and bring it down. Very gentle, slow movement. If for any reason the strap doesn't feel right for you or you're not holding a strap today, you can hold on behind your leg as well. And just hold on behind the knee. Okay. So take what feels right, what works better for you. We'll take one more inhale. And exhale, press it up to the sky again. So now from here, I want you to take both hands and slide them down until your elbows hit the floor so you don't have to reach up and forward for that strap. So you're pretty relaxed in your upper body, shoulders are down a bit from your ears. We're just letting the chest open up, the shoulders to press down. So taking your left leg, let's send it down the mat. So start to slowly just kind of pick up the toes. Just pick up the ball of foot and the toes like you're flexing your foot. Okay? And then press the heel down and scoot it all the way down the mat like you're pushing something off of your mat. Now this top leg may have had to move further away from you at that point because there's some pulling that's going to happen. It's going to intensify that stretch in your hamstrings. So just take what you need, leave everything else. Don't worry about what happened when you had to straighten that leg. Just move with it. Deep breath in, and we're going to stay for 5 rounds of breath. So exhale it out, and every exhale may allow the foot to come a little closer to your head, but not because you're forcing it. You're just moving with the breath. So deep breath in, push out through the leg along the floor. Exhale. Gently just kind of guide your foot towards you if there's any additional space to be had. Deep breath in, number 3. Exhale it out. Feel the spine pressing toward the mat. There's a little small gap in your low back. Everybody's will be a little different, but there's usually going to be a little bit of air there in our natural curve. Take one more breath. And then on this last breath, you're going to leave your leg right where it is. Now walk your hands up just a bit. Inhale here. Start to scoop your belly, draw chin toward chest again like we did a moment ago, and start to lift up. And then lower it back down. Inhale. Exhale, engage through the core, scoop the belly, lift up. And maybe the leg and the head come a little closer together, but never straining in the neck. Lower it down. Take one more breath. If you feel like you want to let go of your strap and just hold on to your leg, if that's something that's available, take that option. Lift up this last time. And then release the head and shoulders down. Keep your leg wherever it is. And go ahead and take your right hand just holding the strap near your foot. Left hand down on the left hip. Imagine your hand is heavy like a sandbag. and it's pushing down on the left hip. I want you to feel like, we're not going to turn to the left, but I want you to feel like you are about to turn yourself to the left side, and now start to take your right leg out to the right. So keep that sensation as though your body was trying to turn to the left, but you're actually just letting your right leg fall out to the side. Deep breath in, exhale out, relax the muscles in your neck, your face, your jaw. Continue to imagine the space of the middle of your waist trying to help you rotate to the left side. One more breath. And then as we move back to center, we're going to take that long straight leg that's along the floor and move it into the center space. So just move your left heel closer to the midline of your mat. Switch hands. Left hand reaching up toward the foot, right arm out to the side, and take a breath in. You might scoot your hips a tiny bit to the right as well. And now go ahead and take that rotation all the way over to the left side. Keeping your right shoulder planted as much as you can. Eventually your left arm is going to rest on the floor. You're pressing out through the right leg. If you need a bend in your knee, take it. And I want you to think about that right side of your body staying really, really long, meaning your right hip not rolling up towards your rib cage, but rather it's lengthening, pressing down toward the end of your mat, like you're rotating your right hip out. And so get long on your right side. Take 2 more deep breaths here. One more breath. And we'll move back into center space. Bending the left knee. Release the right foot with the strap. And I'm just going to set it off to the side. Bring the right knee back into the chest. Go ahead and take your your right ankle. Cross it over the left thigh. So it's just into a little figure 4 position. As we float that left leg up into that full floating reclining pigeon space or figure 4. Because you have your strap, go ahead and take it if you like. And we're going to send it with the right hand like you're going to thread a needle right through that triangle and then all the way around the back of your left leg as you hold on to the strap and pull it closer to you. So take it up, maybe not so far down here, closer to your sit bones, but closer to your knee. So take it up the back of the leg, or if we were standing, it would be down the back of the leg toward that bent knee. So this will help you to release any stress or tension in your shoulders. That way you have a nice little grip here without straining your upper body. I want you to take 3 more deep breaths. And as you do, try to lengthen that right side waist again, like you're rotating your right knee further out to the side, but pulling your left leg or driving your left leg towards you more. Take another big deep breath in, and with this one, go ahead and draw chin slightly toward chest and start to scoop the belly, lift up, lift your legs as close to you as you can without scrunching your shoulders, and then rest your head and shoulders back down, and release. We're gonna relax, let the arms, just release that strap over to the side, and take the left foot back down to the mat, your whole figure 4 situation, down to the mat. Keep the ankle crossed over, left foot on the floor, arms by your sides. Start to scoop your tailbone and see if you can lift your hips. Even if it's just an inch or 2, stay there. And then if you can lift them higher without discomfort or pain, lift up higher and lower back down. Nice and slow. I want you to draw down to the back of the legs a little bit, meaning you're going to draw your pubic bone in the front of your body up, and the hip points up, and then lift. Bring it back down. I want you to take 2 more here, and when you're lifting, I want you to drive that right knee away from you. So open up that right inner thigh space. And bring it down. We'll take one more time. Inhale. And bring it all back down. Very good. Now from here, go ahead and scoot your hips over to the right. And we're going to roll onto the left side. As you bring that top leg, just unleash that top leg. Rest your head on your arm or a block. We're going to take that right ankle, the ankle that is on top now. Left knee is forward a little bit so that you've got a little prop here. So you're going to take that right ankle and you've got your strap if you need to hold it with your strap. Now drop it back down just a bit. I want you to bring your heel up slightly so your heel is higher than your hip. And as long as that doesn't bother your knee, I want you to drive your heel toward the outside of your glute here, and then let your knee just reach toward the end of the mat, and your hip points are dialing up again. So getting a long stretch there through the psoas, but also such a great stretch. If we were seated, it would be a little half hero pose. That can be a little bit much on that bent knee though for a lot of people. So here's just a variation that we can do that will be a little safer for most people. Okay, so most of us, this will feel okay. If it doesn't, it's all right. Just release when you need to. And take another breath. And then as you're ready, go ahead and release that leg. Roll back to center. And I want you to take a full body stretch. So reach it up, reach out. Just kind of shake out the wrists and the ankles a few times, and we'll repeat the whole pattern onto the other side. So coming back into that center space again, I want you to take your strap across you, just lay it there, and pull the knee in. Left knee toward chest. And give it a little hug. Take it over to the left and the right a couple of times. So just in, kind of into center and then out to the side. Getting a little more motion through the joints. So we're looking here, a little more mobility of the joint, and then we're going to get into a deeper stretch of the muscle. In and out, and then back to center. As you pull it into center, give it a little circle with the ankle. And then make that decision if you want to hold onto your foot with a strap or just place your hands behind your leg. Your choice. We'll inhale, draw the knee in as much as you can, and then kick the foot up to the sky. Each side's going to be different, and bring it down. And since we just did a single leg bridge lift with this left leg working, that hamstring might be already a little more active and a little bit more tight. And just in general, because we were using that muscle a moment ago. And just from left to right, the body will be different no matter what. You're never going to be completely even on each side. We're not really symmetrical beings. So just notice how you feel. Notice which side has maybe more restriction, more mobility. And then always be working toward the idea of evening it out a little bit, but it's probably not going to even out completely. All right, so take one more here. But we're always just trying to look for some sense of balance. And balance doesn't mean exact. All right, so hold here. Nice straight leg. Deep breath in. Start to lift the ball of the right foot. So the bridge or ball of the right foot, the toes coming up. You're just kind of balancing on that right heel. And start to slide the right heel down your mat like you're pushing something heavy away. And then get it to that full extension as you push it out. Holding here. Draw shoulders back. Let your hands slide down so that your elbows and back of your arms, your triceps are resting on the floor. Deep breath in, relax, and exhale it out. Notice if your body kind of responds to the exhale with a little more relaxation. And then take another deep breath. We'll start to, on the next round, start to lift the head if that feels right for you. So deep breath in. Hands move up a bit, and we're going to draw chin toward chest a bit more and start to roll up, engaging your abs first. Roll it up And then bring it back down. So I don't want you to jut out through your chin. Inhale, draw chin to chest a little. Normally I ask you to keep your chin away from chest. Here we're kind of curling ourselves up a bit more. So go ahead and take that opportunity as long as you feel no discomfort. One more, inhale, exhale up. And bring it down. Staying right here. I want you to again keep anchoring through that right side. Push the right heel far away from you. Push until your heel has a lot of action in it. Your toes pulling back. You've got your hands on that left part or left hand on the straps. I want you to reach up closer to your foot. Right hand is going to come down towards your right hip, heavy again like a sandbag. And before we go anywhere, imagine that you're turning your left side body over to the right side. So start to imagine that and even create a little more action like you're trying to turn to the right, but now just the left leg from the hip socket moving over to the left. So the rest of the body staying anchored and active. And you get it over as far as you can. And notice, since you have a better view here on this side, I'm going to show you if your leg, it doesn't matter where it is. So maybe it's, past your hip line, that's fine. So it's down lower. But whenever you do take it out to the side, try not to let it fall down and away. I want you to keep it in the same plane it started in. So wherever that is, try to let it fall directly out to the side. And you can use your left elbow, bring it out like a kickstand, or at least that's what feels good to me. If I take it out and then keep my wrists a little straighter and then hold that strap. Some people will also add an extra anchor with their opposite hand and pull it across their body. So you just have to kind of play with that, see what feels right, but I do advise not allowing your wrists to bend backward. That could put a lot of strain on your forearm. So just try to keep it straight as you can. We'll take 2 more breaths. Imagine the right side, left side body moving to the right like you're twisting to the right, keeping active through the core. 1 more breath. We do come all the way back up. We're going to switch hands, right hand reaching up toward the foot, left arm just out to the side. The long straight leg on the floor, right leg, is going to shift into center. I'm going to scoot the hips over a little to the left. You could take that as well. I'm going to roll to the right. So start rolling all the way over onto the right pinky toe, right outer edge of your leg, and as far over as you can, eventually feeling like this low back space, the sacral space here. If you can get that maybe perpendicular to the floor, see how that feels. And at any point, if something doesn't feel right for you, just back off of it. It's taking this top waist and see if you can make it longer by really rotating that inner thigh up towards your face. So external rotation, top leg. Both legs straight and active. Notice what's happening with your wrist of the hand that's holding the strap. 1 more breath in. We're going to rotate back to center and move yourself. So if you shifted your hips, go ahead and place your right foot on the floor. Come back into that center space with your sacrum. Release your strap beside you. Left ankle crossing right leg. Take a breath in. And then lift up that bottom leg. So always be sure that you're placing your ankle. So most of us will have a little point right here on the edge of our ankle. And a lot of times that's very uncomfortable if it's resting right on your ankle. So see if you can move that point of your ankle, that bony protrusion there, off to the outside. So you're resting just the flat part on your leg. Now it seems pretty simple, but it's something we don't always think about. So I want you to take your strap with your left hand, thread it through like you're threading a needle. Take that strap with your right hand and then just hold the strap as your shoulders are pulling back. Notice your right foot. Make sure you bring it up high enough that you can see it. I want you to circle that foot around a few times. And now really drive with the right leg, flex the foot. So you're driving the foot or driving the leg, meaning there's power in that leg, more than just pulling with your arms. And then see if you can take your left knee. Let's take that out to the side a little further. 3 more breaths. 2. Relax those shoulders. One more breath. And bring it all down, but keep the position that you have. So right foot on the floor, arms by your sides, and start to draw the tail down and the pubic bone up and float up into a little one leg bridge or figure 4 bridge. Bring it down. If it feels discomforting to your low back or any joints, go ahead and place both feet on the floor. You could take a basic bridge here. We're just getting an even deeper opening here on this left inner thigh and hip. Take 2 more. Keeping both, keep the foot flexed of that left leg. So the foot that's lifted up and crossing over, keep that foot active. 1 more, lift. Bring it down. Stay right here. I'm gonna spin around just so it's a little easier to see again, so I don't have to face the wall. So that left leg is on top. I want you to start to rotate over to your right side. And then now take that top leg, which is your left leg again. So left leg on top and bring it toward your heel, toward glute. I want you to lift your heel up just a little bit. Okay, so not a lot, just kind of like you're aiming your heel here to the outside of your glute or hip. Stay there and then drop the knee back down as much as you can. We're not trying to make it past the midline, but just in line with the hip itself. And then start to draw the knee to the end of the mat, like you're going to push your knee all the way to the wall or into the mat across from you. So now we have a little bit of internal rotation. Before it was that external rotation when the knee was up. I want your knee down more here. Draw belly up and into spine. Your right leg is slightly forward for a little more support. And take another deep breath. Rock that left shoulder back, soften the left elbow. And we'll release. Straighten it out, come all the way back to center. Big full body stretch again. Circle out. And then go ahead, we're gonna rotate all the way over onto the belly. So as you rotate onto your front side or belly space, we're going to take the arms out, the legs out. So legs are going to be about the width of your mat, tops of your feet on the floor, and pushing your pubic bone down again, just like we were when we were flipped toward the sky, but now you can feel the imprint of your hips and your pubic bone toward the floor, and that's going to engage the glutes a little more and help protect your low back and keep your back long. So I want you to take your arms out like the letter Y. So your whole body kind of looks like, well, sort of like a letter Y. We look like a starfish. We'll say that. Okay, so arms out wide, reaching out past the corners of your mat. I want you to rock your shoulders back and down. Imagine that you could pull your shoulders back, and that's going to make it look like your arms just got a little shorter. So let's try that again. I want you to push down through the tops of your feet, down into the pubic bone. Reach your arms out as far as you can forward in front of you without scrunching your neck. And now drag them back by engaging those muscles in your upper back and getting your shoulders more engaged and your armpits feel a little more hollow. Okay. So try it one more time. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull back. And now lift up a little bit taller. So we're just lifting up. Top of your feet are on the floor. Quads engaged, glutes engaged, low back is safe, and we're getting a nice little chest opening here. Deep breath in, shoulders back, arms wide, and then bring it back down. Let's take one more here. Inhale, engage. Lower body is very, very active. And then lifting, shoulders pull back. Chest open, neck long, and release it down. As you take your left hand over to the side, right arm can stay where it was. So you're starting that big, over-exaggerated kind of V or Y space with your arms. Take your left hand, bring it back Take the left foot, bend the left knee, and then just start to rotate over until you can tap your toe, maybe close to the floor. If that's too much for your right shoulder, just adjust or bend that elbow. Okay, so I can bend the elbow like I was going to come up onto it. So whichever variation feels appropriate for you, we're going to spin it to the other side. So now back to that V or Y space arm. Arms up. Bend the right knee. Slide your right hand back until it's about even with your chest and push into it and rotate. Once again, if it's too much across your chest or your shoulder on the left side, bend that elbow. Bring the hand in or just adjust accordingly. So let's try it again. Slide right hand up, left hand back, bend the left knee, rotate. My head is lifted. I'm not trying to overlift it, but it is lifted. If you needed a folded up blanket under your head here, you could take that. Okay. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, rotate, right hand coming back, and right toe tapping. Let's try one more each side, and you can play with where your arms are. They could be more straight up in front over your head, or they could be more even out to the side. So just find what feels right for you. Let's take last one. And then back into center space. Awesome work. So if you want to take a moment here, let's take the hands underneath the shoulders, lifting up. And then when you get up into your tabletop, take a moment to just start to hollow out through the belly and round just a bit. Shifting side to side. And eventually, if you'd like to come back, we'll go all the way back into a child's pose. When you're ready from here, coming back up, we can take the blanket that we had before and place it up toward the top of the mat. And you may have to make adjustments to it, but I'm just going to place it here for now. As you come all the way down, so we're going to have reverse Shavasana. So taking your blocks, and you'll set your blocks maybe about to the width of your mat or just right on top of. I'm going to take mine so that they're just right on the edges here. They're even with the edges. And they're going to be right under where my shoulders start, or at the top of my shoulder here. And then palms face up, and just rest your forearms or your upper arm on that. So your biceps and your shoulders would rest on the blocks. You can angle them as much as needed. And then just let your forehead rest on your blanket. So from here, it's just a nice way, again, to release your chest. Gentle chest opening, a very restorative posture. So a little supported reverse Shavasana. Make sure the back of your neck stays long. Finding deep breaths here. And this will allow you, since we're on the belly, this could allow you to feel the breath, kind of expanding through the belly space and opening up your low back more. Notice how you expand in all directions here. And just let the entire body stay relaxed, releasing, supported. Staying about 4 or so more breaths here. Just let yourself stay soft in the face and the jaw. Hearing the sound of your breath as it moves in and out. As you begin to gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing awareness into the body. And you may just kind of bend your knees and pick up the feet, circling the ankles a few times, the wrist. From here, go ahead and take your blocks and just set them up out of the way. Sliding your hands underneath the shoulders as you begin to gently lift your chest and lift up. And very slowly pressing back. Just walk yourself back into child's pose. As the hands are reaching forward, walk over to the left and reach the right arm out. Bring it back to center and over to the right, reaching the left hand out. Walking back to center. Begin to walk forward with the knees coming up, and you can take your blanket and place it at the middle and just have a seat on it. As we sit tall into whatever easy seated pose looks like for you today. Lift the shoulders up, back and down a couple of times. And we'll take left arm, sweep it up and over. As you come all the way back up, place that left hand behind you, sweeping right arm across. And then as we move back to center, I just want you to take whichever leg is in front, if you have one on top or in front, and switch that. And then take right arm and reach it up. And take the right hand behind, moving into twist. Hand can be on same hand, same knee, or you can cross it all the way over. Moving back into center space again. Big sweep up, deep breath. Exhale, hands meeting and landing wherever it feels most appropriate for you to take a moment, honoring your own inner guide, honoring the abilities and movements of your body today, and taking time to just be grateful for this time together in this practice, as I'm very grateful that you showed up today and that you were here. Thank you so much. Namaste.